Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, gubernatorial candidate Randy Boyd was in town this week, and we'll bring you a video from the monthly chamber coffee held at Traders Bank this Tuesday. We'll also bring you our last segment of Darius Wallace, who was at South Jackson Civic Center recently, and Tullahoma will be receiving funds from a state grant which was awarded earlier this week. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. Check out this 2018 Ford Focus, $299 a month. Or check out the 2018 Ford F-150 up to $9,000 off. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Can you imagine a world without beauty, without color, without creativity, without art? Neither can we. Keep arts alive and experience all kinds of arts and crafts at the first annual Arts Alive Tullahoma on the lawn of the newly renovated grounds of the South Jackson Civic Center, May 26th and 27th. For details, visit TullahomaArtsCouncil.com and come spend the day at our fun, family-oriented art festival.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation announced Wednesday $6.04 million in grants to support community recycling efforts in a statewide effort to reduce landfill waste. TDEC Commissioner Bob Martineau said, quote, "These grants will help local communities meet the ever-growing challenge of finding ways to reuse materials that would otherwise be discarded to benefit our economy and protect our environment," end quote.
Awarded products fall into one of 5 categories, including recycling hubs, recycling equipment, recycling rebates, used oil, and convenience centers. Tullahoma will receive $14,000 to be used for education and outreach materials, used oil collection tanks, an oil filter crusher, and an oil pump. Franklin County will receive $21,600 to be used for the purchase of a forklift.
Gubernatorial candidate Randy Boyd was in town Tuesday afternoon for a town hall meeting at City Hall. In this video, Mayor Lane Curley briefed the crowd on the candidate's background.
My name is Lane Curley, the longtime part-time mayor of Tullahoma. And we're very pleased that we have our second in gubernatorial visits by Commissioner Randy Boyd. So I'm going to introduce Commissioner Boyd. He was born and raised in South Knoxville and has deep roots in Tennessee. After graduating from Doyle High School at 16. Is that true?
It's true.
Okay. Randy entered the University of Tennessee working nights, running injection molding machines at his dad's business to pay for school. By 19, he had graduated with honors and with no debt, becoming the first in his family to graduate from college. He is a proud University of Tennessee alumni and a ball for life. So Commissioner Boyd's early career was marked by hard work and hustle. He started 2 small businesses and traveled the Southeast selling door-to-door at feed and hardware stores. At 31, with his wife Jeannie working as a court reporter and a 2-year-old at home, he sunk their entire life savings of $26,000 into founding a new company, Radio Systems Corporation. Commissioner Boyd is the founder and executive chairman of Radio Systems Corporation, which was started in 1991. Radio Systems is headquartered in Knoxville, Tennessee, and has over 630 associates worldwide with offices in 7 countries. The company produces over 4,600 pet products under brand names such as Invincible Fence, PetSafe, and Sport Dog brands. In 2013, he took a 1-year leave from his company to serve Governor Bill Haslam in a volunteer role as his special advisor on higher education, assisting in the development of the Drive to 55 initiatives and Tennessee Promise. How many of you here are mentors? Commissioner Boyd disrupted the status quo thinking in higher education, resulting in the Tennessee Promise being funded from lottery reserves, with no new taxes used for these scholarships. Commissioner Boyd served as Governor Haslam's Economic and Community Development Commissioner from January of 2015 until he left the post a year ago. The Tennessee Promise has helped over 10,000 first-generation community college students across the state of Tennessee, and in this year will provide operational support for students participating in Tennessee Promise programs in all counties across the state. His company has provided funds to create 7 dog parks in the Knoxville area and has spearheaded a collaborative effort to make Knoxville the most pet-friendly community in America. You'll be pleased to know, Commissioner Boyd, that we have a no-kill shelter in Tullahoma. And we have just approved funding last Monday night for a new animal shelter. And we typically adopt in Tullahoma between 200 and 250 dogs every year. We also have the only dog park in the area as well. So we're proud of all of that. So, Commissioner Boyd received his degree from the University of Tennessee in Industrial Management in 1979 and a master's in Liberal Studies from Oklahoma University in 1988. He has 2 sons, and he and his wife, Jenny, have been married for 30 years. So, Commissioner, we recognize in Tullahoma that we are subdivisions of the state, and we derive all of our powers from the state, our city government powers. And so we thought it important to invite all the gubernatorial candidates to Tullahoma and let you and them hear firsthand what we're all about in Tullahoma. So in a few minutes, I'll invite some community leaders up just to share a very brief synopsis of what's going on in their part of community leadership. And then we're also anxious to hear from you, your vision for the state of Tennessee, and I'm particularly interested in why you want to be governor of Tennessee. So, Commissioner Boyd, the floor is yours.
And when we come back, we'll hear from Randy Boyd. Stay with us. We have more Newsleader coming up after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out this 2017 Kia Forte, yours today, $279 a month. Or check out the 2018 Kia Sorento, up to $4,000 off. Kia is the power to surprise. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. In this segment, gubernatorial candidate Randy Boyd speaks to the crowd about his personal life.
Tullahoma is a town I'm very familiar with. I was just thinking as I was driving in, last year my wife and I decided to do something we called the Tennessee Vacation. So we decided to travel across the state and go to different places. We went to the Air Museum here. We went to stay at the Grand Lux Hotel. It's a small little bit of breakfast here in town, and had just a great time. And we try to feature it on social media about other places people should go when they travel. Actually, we've had this idea now that may be a tradition. It will only be a tradition if I get elected, by the way. But if I get elected, every year there'll be the governor's Tennessee Vacation, and we'll try to find some places that are a little bit off the beaten track. So everybody from Europe and all over the world go to Nashville or Elvis Presley's home or to the Great Smoky Mountains, but basically come to Tullahoma and come to some of the other places across our state. So anyway, that'll be the idea behind that. You know, as Commissioner of Economic and Community Development, I got to work with Tom and many in this area. This is one of the best areas in the state to help recruit businesses to. So as a sales guy, you kind of like to bring people to a product that's easy to sell. Tullahoma is easy to sell. This area is a great place to bring, and you always had such a great team to work with. Just a little known fact, I'll share one other thing that was not on any biographical information anywhere, I'm pretty sure, but it's relevant to here. So my very first company failed. If you've seen any of my TV commercials, we always talk about the first company that we started failed. Well, the first company that I started was a company called Seiko, the storm alert company. It started when I was 23, and it was a barometer alarm device that picked up on tornadoes. And the way it worked, when the barometric pressure got to 28.5, a little alarm would go off, and it would let people know that a tornado is coming. Challenge is, how do you test something like that? How do you ever get the barometric pressure down to 28.5? We go to the supersonic chambers down at the Arnold Air Force Base, and that's where we tested it. So we tested the product. The good news is the test worked, the product worked. The bad news is the company failed. But no fault at all. So lots of past history here. We'll start off with a little bit more about myself that wasn't in the bio, I think, that was mentioned. So I'm a Christian. Jenny and I go to Aaron Presbyterian Church in Knoxville, Tennessee. We've been sitting actually on the same pew for the last 34 years that her father sat on for the 30 years prior to that. And we're kind of superstitious that way, but we also, he passed away about 6 years ago, and we feel his presence every Sunday when we're there. And God's blessed us beyond our wildest dreams. And some years ago, we realized that if we work the rest of our lives giving back, we'll still die in debt. And so our focus the rest of our life is about giving back. And I personally believe that public service is the place in which you can make the biggest difference for the most people. And I came to that from a particular experience, which I'll share in. The mayor did touch on it. So I'd like to brag about my wife. The one thing you did get wrong, Mayor, but it's probably something that we sent to you, so I need to go back and edit it. So as of this Friday, we'll be married not 30 years, but 33 years. So we're celebrating our 33rd anniversary. Jenny's the talent in the family. She plays the fiddle, the clawhammer banjo, and the mandolin, and has a Scottish pub in downtown Knoxville, which is dedicated to preserve and promote our musical heritage. So every Tuesday night, there's old-time music. People from all across the region come and play musical instruments. The compromise, it's not really a compromise, the deal we made for me running for governor, if she's going to have to be in Nashville, we're going to make the capital a musical capital. So every Tuesday night, the Capitol will be open up for an old-time jam. So if you happen to have an instrument, you're welcome to come over either at the residence or the Capitol, and we'll be playing music. If you don't have any talent, you can just sit like I do and watch the people with talent. But she was also born in Germany. She was born to a German lady that didn't believe that she could take care of her. So Major Holbler and his wife Pat, who were in the Army stationed there, adopted her when she was 2 weeks old. They brought her to Tennessee for me to fall in love with 25 years later. I think about all the joy that she brought her adopted parents, all the joy that she brought me, all the joy that she brought my children, and everybody that's ever met her. And I just think, not only, we're pro-life, but we're also very much pro-adoption. We want to make Tennessee the most adoption-friendly state in America. I believe education is one of the most important things we can provide for anybody. For me, I believe education started with work. When I was 8 years old, my dad started a company making electric fencing for cattle and horses. Anybody ever been shocked by electric fence? Might have had something to do with that. Sorry about that. But we made electric fencing for cattle and horses. I was on the assembly line, working for $1 an hour. Finally, about age 14, I got promoted to minimum wage, which was $4.35 an hour. I still remember that first paycheck. When it came time to go to college, Dad said, son, no boy has ever been to college. There's really no reason to go. I can give you a job in the factory now. It's kind of a waste of time, but Mom and I believed it was important. So he gave me the opportunity to pay my way through, which, as the mayor pointed out, I did at a fairly early age. And I worry when people say that. When they say, when he graduated at 19, you might have false expectations. And I don't want to get elected with false expectations. You hear that and you think, if he graduated at 19, he must be smart. And it wasn't anything to do with being smart. It's just had everything to do with being cheap. When you're paying your way through, it's just cheaper to graduate early than it is to hang around. So that's how that happened.
More Newsleader is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Traders Bank hosted the monthly Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce Coffee this month. Newsleader was also on the scene and brings us this video.
chance to promote, because Dave had his door closed. I'd like at this point in time while Dave and Chad come forward to introduce Dave Jaggers. Pam Bryant is on the phone, but at Traders we have a Raymond James operation that we're affiliated with. So now that the stock market's hot, those of you that need to consider some investments in the stock market, feel free to call on Dave or Pam in our Raymond James operation. And his office is his first door on the right. Now, thank you, Dave, for sharing that big check for Ginger Ennis. All right. Get that check. One of the causes that we wanted to recognize, we announced earlier, was 5 Loaves. So Ginger has now arrived to get half of Trader's Christmas float winnings. And it's okay to keep it. You don't have to give this half to Cat for a show on Saturday. You can keep that for your worthy cause.
Thank you very much.
All right, next item of business is the bookshelf made a donation. A book called Your First Year in Network Marketing. So, Donna Bradford, would you draw a name out of this jar? Who would win a book from the bookshelf? You're on name. Okay, bookshelf donation goes to Bray Waller, Belvedere, Tennessee. Ray, if you'll come up, please, and draw a name for a $50 cash. Exactly. $50 of cash. Bree's new best friend is Melissa Allen. Melissa Allen. Melissa's next best friend for $50 cash is Cam Gardner. Sarton. Darden. Let's get that right, Cam. Come up here, Cam Darden. I finally got it right. And give an assorted basket to Jack Rodney Jellies. Cam Darden's next best friend is Ginger Ennis. Ginger Ennis is going to draw, and her next best friend for the same basket, Jackie Duncan. All right.
A lot of your vehicles are going to aluminum now, and it requires a lot of different tools, and the trade has changed from your steel to aluminum, and we have those capabilities at the Russell Barnett Certified Collision. Our phone number is 931-455-7447. If you can't find anything else, everybody's on Facebook. So like us on Facebook at Russell Barnett Certified Collision.
And we'll be right back in just a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Check out this 2018 Chevrolet Equinox, $229 a month. Or get up to $10,000 off select 2018 Chevrolet Silverados. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Why buy anywhere else?
The Franklin County Kiwanis presents the 31st Annual High in the Hog Festival located in the Winchester City Park April 14th through the 21st, featuring motorcycle poker run, primetime amusements and midway, Traders Bank Backyard Barbecue Contest, the KCBS Pro Contest, also Friday concert with Mary Catherine Williams, Saturday concert with the band Escape, plus Rolling Smoke all weekend long. Plus new this year, Craft Fair, Cornhole, and Horseshoe Tournament. That's the 31st Annual High in the Hog Festival. We can't wait to see y'all there.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Tonight we bring you our final segment from Darius Wallace, who was at South Jackson Civic Center recently, where he presented his one-man show titled From the Heart of a King, a Salute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In this portion of the show, he speaks about what it might have sounded like to have heard Dr. King's first sermon at the age of 19.
Martin Luther King Jr. became an ordained minister. And if we were to hear Martin Luther King give his first sermon at only 19 years old, perhaps it would sound like this. And the Creator stepped out on space, and the Creator looked around, and he said, I'm lonely. I'll make me a world. And as far as the eye of the Creator could see, darkness covered everything, blacker than 100 midnights down in a cypress swamp. Then the Creator smiled and the light broke, and the darkness rolled up on one side and the light stood shining on the other. And the Creator said, that's good. Then the Creator reached out and he took the light in his hand. He rolled the light around in his hands until he made the sun. And he set that sun ablazing in the heavens. And with the light that was left from making the sun, he gathered it up in a shining ball and he flung it against the darkness, spanning the night with the moon and the stars. Then down between the darkness and the light, he hurled the world and he said, that's good. Then the Creator himself stepped down. The sun was on his right hand and the moon was on his left. The stars were clustered about his head and the earth was under his feet. And he walked. Where he trod, his footsteps hollowed the valleys out and bulged the mountains up. Then he stopped and he looked and he saw that the earth was hot and barren. So he stepped over to the edge of the world and he spat out the seven seas. He batted his eyes and the lightnings flashed. He clapped his hands and the thunders rolled. The waters above the earth came down. The cooling waters came down. And then the green grass sprouted and the little red flowers blossomed. The pine tree pointed his finger to the sky and the oak spread his arms and the lakes cuddled down into the hollows of the ground and the rivers ran down to the sea. And he smiled again and a rainbow appeared and curled itself around his shoulder. Then he waved his arms and he raised his hands over the seas and over the lands and he said, bring forth, bring forth. And quicker than he could drop his hands, fishes and fowls and beasts and birds swam the seas and the rivers, roamed the forests and the woods, and split the air with their wings. Creator said, that's good. Then the Creator walked around, and the Creator looked around on all that he had made. He looked at the sun, he looked at the moon, he looked at the stars. He looked on his world with all its living things. God said, I'm lonely still. And then he said, I'll make me a man. Up from the bed of the river, he scooped the clay. And by the bank of the river, he kneeled him down. And there, the great Creator Almighty who lit the sun and fixed it in the sky, who flung the stars to the most far corner of the night, who rounded the earth in the middle of his hands. This great Creator, like a mammy bending over her baby, kneeled down in the dust, toiling over a lump of clay till he shaped it in his own image. Then into it blew the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1951 at 77 degrees. The record low was in 1980 at 13 degrees. The average high on this day is 56 and the average low is 35. Cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 37. Sunny weather expected on Friday with a high of 55 and a low of 32. Sunny weather also in the forecast for Saturday with a high of 56 and a low of 33. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6 wishes you and your families a great weekend. Thank you.